Oh, it's not playing. Anyway, welcome to BigGunner81 Live. Tonight, BigGunner81 Live is brought to you by BAT Arms. BAT Arms offers a large assortment of firearms and accessories, including many unique items to fit your shooting needs. BAT Arms is a federally licensed firearms dealer and located in Plano, Illinois, with hours by appointment. To find out more, check them out at batarms.com. And I'd also like to welcome our newest sponsor as well, Eggleston Munitions. If you're a reloader, I suggest taking a look at Eggleston Munitions. They have a lot to offer as far as projectiles. They manufacture polymer-coated projectiles that offer the benefits of jacketed projectiles at a price point much more affordable. And the best part, they're made right here in the U.S., located in Colorado Springs, Colorado. You can find them at egglestonmunitions.com. So apparently, I don't believe my video was playing there for whatever reason, because it was showing it blank. I don't know why on this particular machine I'm using. So anyway, I'd like to start off the show. I want to introduce everyone here. Of course, we got Barry from BAT Arms. You say hello, Barry.
Hey guys, glad to be here.
We've got Jacob Herman from Century Arms International.
Hello.
How's it going? And we got Jimmy Labita from Atibal Sights.
How's it going?
And we got John Patton from the Gun Collective.
Hi guys, how's everybody doing?
Good. Thanks for joining us, everybody, and also Patrick from One Shot Kill It Media, as always.
How's it going?
one of our regular panelists here. So tonight we're going to just talk a little bit with Jacob, and then go with Jimmy and talk with John as well. So Jacob, how's everything going down there?
Oh, it's nice. It's nice. It didn't rain today, or at least I didn't get rained on. So
nice. And you're down where? You're in where now?
Delray Beach, Florida.
Oh, in Florida.
I used to live in Virginia when I worked for the NRA, and you know, I blame them for losing the war, so I had to move farther south.
Nice. So tell us a little bit about like your career. What you've done and how you've gotten to where you are today. Exactly. Like a little bit about your history.
My granddad had a bait and tackle shop when I was born, so a little kid working in an outdoor business. I was going to be a commodities broker, graduated college at the height of the recession. Obviously, that didn't work out, right? Lehman Brothers laid off 20,000 people. It's hard to get a job trading corn when you got 20,000 people applying for the same job. Went to work for the NRA, ILA, grassroots coordinator, same job Barack Obama had. Some reason they don't think I'm qualified for president, though. But I can tell you, if he did the same thing I did, he's not qualified either. NRA, ILA, grassroots coordinator, then went to, ended up at Red Jacket for a while during the height of that TV show. And I came to Century Arms. So I do all of our business development. I run our U.S. domestic sales, marketing. I do all our PR stuff. I'm usually on the television, TV, anything we do there. So
that's very cool. So you know our friend Glenn Fleming then?
Oh yeah, Glenn's a good dude, man. He's a hell of a machine gun builder. He probably builds. If you have a absolute decrepit, rusted piece of crap, Glenn can make it beautiful. That's
awesome. Yeah, he is a super nice guy. He was one of the first
awesome guy.
Yeah, he was one of the first people that actually was on my show, believe it or not. And I said to him, I said, I can't believe you're even talking to me. I'm just some guy with a small little YouTube show, only a couple of subscribers or whatever. And he's like, no, dude. He's like, I'm not like that. And he isn't. He's a super nice, laid-back guy. I like him a lot. In fact, we had him on the radio show as well, too.
Yeah, he's a really cool guy. I'm glad I got to work around him.
So what kind of new and exciting things you got going on at Century Arms?
Well, we have the pull-through. Right now, the big thing we're pushing is we have the $25 rebate, mail-in rebate on the TP9SA. So you buy a TP9SA, send your receipt to our intern, and he'll get you a $25 check cut back out to you. Cool. So that's our big push right now. The TP9SA is probably one of the most remarkable handguns on the market because it has competed against and won military contracts against all the big name European manufacturers, but the MSRP is $399.
Yeah, I know. We were checking it out. Me and Patrick were even talking about it. We were down over to MGS Firearms in Menominee Falls, Wisconsin, checking that out, and in the RAS 47. Gotta say, very, very cool. I mean, for the price point on the TP9 SA, with the mags and the holster and all the stuff that comes with it, that's phenomenal.
Yeah, and we'll put that gun. Go for it.
I was just gonna say, I've shot the SA and the DA, and they're both fantastic. You can't find a better pistol for the price. I can tell you that much.
The cool thing is, a lot of people focus on the price, but we will put that gun head-to-head against any gun made in Europe. If it's got a polymer frame on it, we'll take the Pepsi challenge. You can't really find a pistol that you can tell me that justifies you spending more than $400 on it, brand new with a lifetime warranty.
Absolutely.
But the other thing is we also are the only manufacturer of 100% American-made AK-47s, period, in the U.S. So we have the only stamped AK made, the RES-47, made 100% here in America, and we have the only milled U.S. AK made 100% here in America. So we're really excited about those products as well.
Yeah, that is awesome, because we were also looking at that too, and I was up there visiting them, the RES-47. That is just phenomenal. Didn't get to shoot it yet. I still have not shot an AK, believe it or not. I have to admit that. But when I do, I want to try that out, definitely. That's one of the first ones on my list, or the first one on my list, I should say.
Yeah, it's a pretty epic gun.
All right, and I saw that clip, the video clip, from last year's SHOT Show, where you guys were raffling one off, and you ended up giving one to both the person who won it and the veteran that was there.
Yeah.
I can't remember the exact details, but that's phenomenal. I think that's a great job, that you guys did.
Yeah, the guy that won it just turned around and handed it to a guy named Rick, and Rick got blown up pretty hard, lost some limbs, and the guy said, this is why he's the reason we're here. So he just turned around and handed it to him. He said, I'd like to give it to him, and I gave both of them one. I mean, that guy did a selfless act. Just he didn't even think about it, man. He was like, we called his name. He turned around and said, I want you to have this. It was pretty awesome.
That was.
That's amazing, man.
Definitely. So what else do you guys have coming up? Anything in the future? Any plans you want to talk about? Or can talk about?
Well, we always have different surplus coming in. So there's always, but that stuff moves really quick. You got to kind of prowl the internet. All that surplus goes to guys that collect that stuff. So we move that pretty quick. Definitely have some new products coming out at SHOT Show. Some really, really interesting stuff. Kind of building on the momentum of the US AKs and the TP9SA, the TP9V2. But we can't release those yet.
Yeah, I kind of figured you wouldn't be able to talk about it in too much detail there, but that's very cool. So,
Jacob, I actually have a question for you, brother.
Okay.
How do you feel about the rise? I mean, you guys, one of your main points of business is the AK. How do you feel about the rise of the AK in the U.S. in comparison to the AR market? I mean, that market is huge now. Give me some insight on how you feel about it.
Well, the collective gun buying market has increased. We've added 20 million new shooters since the anti-freedom politicians have kind of came to power in the United States as a fear of Americans thinking they could no longer buy whatever they wanted. You live in the land of the free until somebody decides you don't deserve the right to purchase something anymore. And so people just want, everybody is bought an AK. People that I know have owned guns for 30 years that never owned an AR ran out and bought one out of fear. And, people started shooting them. They're like, man, this is fun. And now they just want to shoot something different. It's like the guy that drives a Honda Civic and goes out for his 50th birthday and buys a Corvette. He wants I say you can buy an AR or you can buy a gun that works.
Nice.
And I'm actually one of those people that went out and bought an AK. Well, I didn't buy it. I traded for an ACOG that I can't sell. Because nobody wants to pay $1,300 for one, but they'll trade it. They'll trade for one. But I picked up a Vepr, and I love it. So. Yeah,
it's pretty amazing. And there was some common misconceptions that AKs were inaccurate. We've developed a standard of parts. Our RS-47, RC-39, they're not copies of anything. They're 100% developed here. They're a Kalashnikov-based action. But when you put U.S. Trained engineers and U.S. manufacturing, we are still the best manufacturer of any product on the face of the earth. Americans make better stuff than anyone else, and we're a firm believer in that. When we did that and we took the crazy tolerances out and we're using new machines, we've built an AK that if you shoot good ammunition, it'll shoot 1 MOA all day long. And so, you have a gun that's more reliable, it puts a bigger projectile downrange, and it does it cheaper than any other platform on the market.
That is
awesome. I'm going to have to buy one now. Thanks.
I know, right?
Yeah, it's been on my list for a while. But you got to think, a lot of people that have had ARs, they're going to get bored with them eventually. They're going to want to do something else. The people that are just basically, more into just the shooting to shoot for fun and sport, not for self-defense necessarily. But, you just with anything, any hobby, you get bored with one particular thing, you want to move on to the next. And I think the AK for many is just a natural progression of step there.
Yeah, I think I'm sorry. It's such a big departure from the way an AR shoots and feels that it's kind of like, you know, you've got vanilla and chocolate. You know what I mean? You've got two different flavors of something awesome. I think ARs are fantastic. I think AKs have a lot of validity, and they're a ton of fun to shoot. You know.
So it looks like Jesse Tischauser decided to join us now.
How's it going, guys?
Hey,
he wins for best background.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for coming. So yeah, we're just talking with Jacob a little bit right now about Century Arms International and so forth. So that's where he kind of came in. We're talking about the AK, the RAS 47, and so forth. So yeah, is there anything else you wanted to add, Jacob?
No, that's it. You know, we're excited about the growth of the AK and the acceptance here in the U.S. and obviously we're excited about, you know, being able to put a gun on the market. The big thing for us is this year is the first time you can walk into a box store where a majority of Americans, whether it's good or bad, depends on how you look at it, the majority of Americans buy their first gun at a box store, whether it's a Dick's or an Academy or a Dunham's. That's where they go because it's comfortable to them. You can now walk into a box store and buy an AK-47 or an AK-based rifle on the shelf with a warranty built by a U.S. company.
It's not a bad deal, man.
Just real quick, what is the warranty on the RAS 47 anyway?
The RAS 47 has a full year manufacturer warranty, which is like most rifles, especially AKs. Now, if you take a Dremel to it, if you decide to sandblast it, drag it behind a truck, take a saw to it for some reason, obviously we don't cover the warranty. But, you know, we've really not had any problems with them. Obviously, when you make something, you're going to have some that turn bad, and those guys hammered on the internet. But we've got RAS 47s that we've put in training facilities, and those guns in 6 months have had, you know, 13, 14, 15,000 rounds through them, and no issues whatsoever. And so we've got some test guns that have 50, 60, 70,000 rounds. No degradation of any major parts whatsoever. So it's really a long-term, unlike an AR that you got to replace gas rings and do constant maintenance on, an AK is pretty maintenance-free. If you keep it lubed, feed it good ammo, it's going to last. It's going to last forever. I got some pictures the other day about a Type 1 that was found in Afghanistan, and it's been in constant use since like 1948, 1949, and they're still shooting it today. It still functions. And I know it's never been clean. You
always see videos of people pulling them out of the dirt and stuff and just throwing some oil in them and busting them up and to get them running again, busting them free or whatever, and they'll run. It's crazy.
Yeah, it works. They work. That's the whole point. You know, you want to buy a gun that works. It's hard for most people to understand. But.
Very cool. So I guess we'll talk to Jesse for a little bit here real quick since he just logged in, or do you want to hang out for a little bit here, or do you want to talk? Or
whatever works for you guys. I'm flexible.
I want him to talk. He wore his pro shooter shirt.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
He's super official right now.
Yeah. So what's going on with you, Jesse?
Not much, man. Sorry, I missed the show start there. I forgot completely about it. I was on the range actually doing some test fire and stuff in the dark.
Nice. Yeah, I know. We've been trying to get you on here for a couple weeks now. But so what was I forget, we were going back and forth with our emails what we were actually going to talk about. I think we were talking about youth shooting and stuff like that. There's a program that you want to mention?
Yeah, definitely. Actually, it's coming up here on September 11th and 12th. I'm part of an organization called Generation 3 Gun. You can find all the information online, generation3gun.com. And what the organization is partnered up with a gentleman named Chad Francis. You've probably seen his daughter, Katie Francis, that little 15-year-old girl that was...
Absolutely.
She got 10 million views on YouTube on the various videos and people sharing her stuff, or she was running around at a 3-gun match shooting a MP5, I think it was, and then shooting a 12-gauge shotgun, and she was about 85 pounds dripping wet.
Yeah, she's impressive.
Yeah, it was really cool. She's now 15 or 16. She's on her way to the World Shoot in Italy to shoot on the U.S. shotgun team.
Yeah, I saw it.
But anyway, Chad, since he has a daughter and another friend of his, Jeff Welsh, has a son, they recruited me to do all the social media side of things for them, and started this organization. And the goal of the organization is to raise money and give it to kids that are wanting to shoot 3-gun specifically. We're hoping to branch out into other shooting sports eventually, but 3-gun's all of our passion, so that's kind of where we started. So the way we raise money is obviously donations, and the big fundraiser is our 3-gun championship match, September 11th and 12th over in Osage Beach, Missouri, which is on the Lake of the Ozarks there.
Yeah, actually, I do know where that's at. That's actually kind of near where the Loganvilles are at, Tooth and Nail Armory.
Yeah, those guys always show up. They RO the match, and they help set up stages, all that kind of stuff. They're locals.
Yeah, super nice guys. I had them build my MK 1919, actually. I went down there and met with them and checked out their shop and their range and everything. It was very cool.
Yeah, those guns they make are phenomenal. They're really cool. It's definitely on the short list of wants.
Exactly. That's cool. So what did you just came back for? What was it Rock Castle?
Yeah, I just got done shooting the Rock Castle Pro-Am 3-gun match.
How'd that go for you? Not
so good. I dabbled a little bit in open division.
Yeah.
And the guys that shoot open division are really good at it.
You know what? I gotta tell you my story about that. I'm not looking to set records or become a pro shooter myself. I go for the fun of it, obviously. So what I was gonna say is, when I got started into this is something that's kind of new at our club, which I also recommend if you're ever in the area or ever want to come shoot 3-gun with us. This year we have 2 more events. One is going to be on that same weekend, the September 12th, I believe it is. It's a Sunday, or September 13th. Might have the date wrong, but it's the Sunday of that weekend.
That'd be the 13th, I believe, in you.
Yeah, okay, so it's the 13th, and then we have one in November, I believe, on the 12th. So if you ever want to come out to that, let us know. Anyhow, when I got started in this, I basically, just in learning things, and I ended up wanting to get a magazine-fed shotgun because reloading shotgun shells sucks big time, as you know. And it's a skill that I don't have yet. So I just I want to actually finish some of these stages. So I went with that direction. Needless to say, shooting in open division, I know I'm not going to come anywhere faster than last place. I'm not going to come in first, So it is what it is. So I can feel your pain on that.
Yeah, open division is by far the most fun because you get to shoot the fastest, reload the least, and it's just an all-out hose fest.
Yeah, and that's actually why I don't mind doing it, Yeah,
unfortunately it's expensive as hell, and it's very hard to keep all those fancy guns running.
Yeah, that is true.
I've came in last at Rock Castle twice.
I don't think that's ever been done.
Well, it got hot. It was really hot, and I just decided that my shooting skills weren't worth the amount of heat that was being put forth by the sun, so I just went back to the lodge and drank beer.
Nice. Yeah, so in other words, you just didn't finish.
Yeah, I sponsor myself as a pro shooter, so I shoot pro, and so I get to do whatever I want because.
Awesome. So yeah, is there anything else particular you want to talk about, Jesse?
That's really the big thing, man. My that organization, it's taken off pretty good. Last year we raised about $15,000, and we are giving it back to juniors in form of scholarships if they go shoot a big match like the Pro-Am or any of the other 25 or so large matches out there. They just submit their scores in an application, and we give them a reimbursement for their match fee. So usually between $150 and $250.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. We hopefully we'll raise about $25,000 this year, so we'll be able to start doing a little more helping kids with travel expenses and all that stuff. Because typically the kid doesn't just shoot alone; Dad's shooting as well, and to have 2 people working out of the same pocketbook can get quite expensive. And we definitely want to get the junior shooters involved as soon as we can. Absolutely,
that's kind of where I'm. I definitely believe in getting the next generation of shooters going, and also getting more women involved with shooting sports. I think that'd be a great thing.
For sure.
Because it actually all trickles down, in my opinion, to the point of, when it comes down to these whole people that want to take away our guns or gun control and this and that. The more people we have on our side that enjoy the sports, the shooting sports, the better it is for us.
I couldn't agree more. Yeah, I mean, me personally, when I got involved, it was. I shot when I was a little kid, shot all the way through high school and did stuff hunting-wise with my father. Went off to college and kind of quit shooting, was in the Army, and really that's all I did was shoot when I had to once a year. And I didn't start shooting again until I was like 32 years old when I found 3-gun. So I'm like, man, if I would have found 3-gun when I was 21, I'd have been broke for like 12 more years.
So how long have you been competing now for? How long have you been competing now?
I started in 2009. Was the first year I picked up a pistol and shot a match.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we just sponsored our first 3-gun competition shooter here about 2 or 3 weeks ago. Ryan Wiggins. He's new. He's been doing it for about a year, and so we're just getting on board and getting into the whole 3-gun nation. But yeah, it's pretty cool, and it takes some sponsors to really get out to get to those events, and so it does take some money. Yeah, so we're excited that we've actually got a 3-gun competition shooter when our 1-4 comes out here in October.
Outstanding, good job.
Yeah, so cool.
Yeah,
I think it's really interesting to see how far 3-gun has come over the last like 3-4 years. You know what I mean? Like you think back to prior to Sandy Hook and things like that, and this massive influx of new shooters has really brought the 3-gun and any competition shooting to an entirely new level. It's so cool to watch, you know.
I agree. You know, it's been quite interesting. I mean, to me, I'm like I said, I'm new to 3-gun. Our club had its first match, one time last year, and now we've had a couple matches this year, and then we have 2 more coming up, and it's really taking off with just locally here, and it's a lot of fun, no doubt about it. So I'm excited with how things are going with the 3-gun stuff. That's just neat. I'm really happy to see it.
For sure.
Yeah. So yeah, Jesse, if there's anything else you want to add, let us know. Otherwise, we'll go out and talk to Jimmy real quick.
Hey, Jesse.
Yes, sir.
Hey, when's your match?
When is my match? September 11th and 12th, I believe. It's Friday, Saturday.
Do you guys have a prize table for that?
We do.
If you'll get my email, do you know Andrew Dreyer?
I do, yes. He's one of my sponsors.
Awesome. Call him tomorrow. He'll be at dinner with me tomorrow night, and we'll get you some pistols out for your prize table.
Man, that'd be great. We could definitely use it.
That is awesome. That's very cool.
Yeah, just call Andrew. He'll be here. We'll have dinner at like 7, so just interrupt us. It's fine.
So, Jimmy, tell us a little bit about what you have going on right now.
Okay, well, for
those who don't know what you do and everything, kind of give us a little walkthrough and whatnot.
Yeah, so who we are, we're Atibal Sights, and we are a budget optics company. I hate to use that term, but that's who we are. That's how we have to enter the marketplace, come in at a low price point, so somebody would give us a shot and say, okay, they have a red dot for $59.99. We'll try it out. They end up liking it, and then we've kind of spread through the social media to where we've got 50,000 followers. And so we don't offer a $59.99 red dot anymore because we're past that. We're going into our 3rd year where we kind of want to be like the next Vortex in terms of the customer service that you get, the warranties, and getting an overall great product for the price that you paid for the optic. And so that's kind of where we've started, and we've kind of grown into that, where now we offer a $135 MCRD that Barry over at Bat Arms is now a dealer for us. And
I've got one right here actually. So
and so our products are just getting better. Obviously, the more that we're doing it, the better manufacturers that we get in with. And that's kind of who we are in a nutshell. We want to offer something for that budget shooter who went out and got a $400 AR, who's a Pizza Hut delivery boy, who's not going to go buy an aim point or an ACOG or even an EOTech for that fact, you know. And so that's kind of who our market is. But those same guys that have been buying those $59.99 red dots have kind of grown with us, right? They're now going into buying our 4x, because a lot of our customers are repeat customers. Every time we come out with a new optic, they're on board with it because they know how good the $59.99 red dot that they bought 2 years ago is. You know, that they put 3,000 rounds on and it's still holding 0 and hasn't had any issues. And so we slowly keep getting bigger and better products. The more cash flow we have, the more things we can do with a mechanical engineer. So we have some of our own stuff, our own designs that we're getting looked at right now. I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with Light Optical Works.
I'm not.
Okay. So Light Optical Works manufactures for Night Force. Okay, they do stuff for Bushnell, for the Bushnell Elite. They do a lot of the high-end stuff, and I've been knocking on that door for about a year. And they basically told me, you know, we can't work with any U.S. companies unless you have your own design. And so that kind of forced us to be like, okay, we've got to go out, find a mechanical engineer, come out with our own stuff so we can get in with a Japanese manufacturer. And so that's kind of where we're at right now. We have a 4x32 that hopefully will be illuminated with tritium, because we kind of want to be Pepsi in regards to what Trigicon is with their ACOG. And I know that's people say, oh, that's ridiculous to say that. I was like, we dream big and we want big things. We're going to try to be that next Pepsi in terms of what ACOG is. Can anybody hear me?
Yeah, we got you last.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm like, it just went dead for a while. I'm like,
We were just letting you talk.
Yeah, we're letting you talk. We're just listening to you. We're taking it all in. So I have to ask you this, Jimmy, too. Do you have something right now that you're kind of working on that was more related to 3-gun stuff?
Yeah, we have a 1-4 that's coming out. That's going to be Japanese manufactured.
That's what I thought.
What?
I just said that's what I thought. Yeah, you have.
Yeah, so it'll be here. It'll be ready in October, and that 1-4 that we have coming out is actually how we landed Ryan Wiggins, who's a 3-gun competition shooter, and they're very picky about the equipment that they use because they're in competition, right? And he's very skeptical about Atibal because he's like, you guys have nothing to offer me. Like, I don't see you guys have red dots in a 4x32. I don't see any 1-4s or 1-6. And I was like, look, we will have one here in October. Let me show it to you. And he's actually local to Arizona. And so we met at a bar, and he was still skeptical at the time until I actually showed him a sample piece of what we're going to be coming out with. And he played around with it for about 2 or 3 minutes, and he said, this is easily a $1,000 optic. And I told him, I know. And I was like, can I sponsor you? And he's like, yes. And so about 4 or 5 years later, we're best friends now.
That's awesome.
So, we're heading in the right direction. It's a tough market to get into, especially in the optic business. It's really tough because everybody, if it's not an Aimpoint, EOTech, or Trigicon, you have those people that are snobs out there, and that's all they're going to run with. But we're trying to at least give it another option where we're going to have high-end quality that's still affordable. It's kind of what we're shooting for. So, but
no pun
that's kind
intended.
of what we're doing.
Nice. That's very cool. Well, I mean, I'm pretty happy with this MCRD. As you guys know, we had an issue with the first one, or may not know, with the water testing and so forth. Apparently, it didn't like to go swimming, but that's where the warranty came in hand. So.
Well, good.
And I know Patrick has had a good experience with it as well. I know he beat his up pretty well, and it's been holding up. So.
Yeah, I've used a few of the optics heavily, and we actually did a lot of testing too with the NGS crew down at an open range, and we literally have thrown that thing multiple times downrange just with no regard, and it held up. So we'll have a video coming out with that pretty soon too, and a couple of TP9 videos to follow that. So
right, looking forward to that as well.
Yeah,
that's gonna be pretty cool. I know you guys did some really neat product testing, I guess, with some of the rifles and stuff from some of the other companies and whatnot as well.
Yeah, we were using a Devil Dog Arms rifle for a lot of that stuff. It's kind of like a dual test just to kind of really, test the AR-15 platform, because a lot of people, they just think that you get 1 grain of sand and it's not going to work. And that's definitely a myth. So, and you guys will see. You just got to, subscribe, like, and follow, and tune in.
Nice. Good plug. So Jimmy, was there anything else you want to tell us about? I mean, you also sell other stuff too besides the optics on your website as well, right?
Yeah, with Atibal, we were getting between 15 to 20,000 visitors per month, and I was like, we need to diversify and start offering other things than just our optics, and kind of be like what Primary Arms does. They have their own line of budget optics, and then they also have everything else. And so we've added Sequence Precision, Fortis. Strike Industries has done really, really well for us. It's crazy. We started off as a dealer with a minimum buy-in, and then a week and a half later, I'm a distributor now, just because this stuff was just selling really well. But yeah, and so we're just adding a whole bunch of different things to Atibal as well, and kind of diversify our portfolio.
Cool.
Jimmy, are you guys going to be at SHOT Show with any of your products?
No, the thing with SHOT Show, from what I've heard, it usually takes 3 years to get in. You have to reserve a table. I'm not quite. This is what I've heard, and so it's very hard to really get in. I'll be at SHOT Show. I'm in Phoenix, so it's a 5-6 hour. I was there last year just to walk around and meet some of the people. And a lot of the people that we do business with on Atibal that we're dealers for are people that are into social media, because they help promote us, and at the same time we go back and forth and promote their products. And so, we'll be at SHOT Show.
That's awesome.
Cool, man. I was hoping to at least get a chance to look down your sites there, but.
We'll bring some stuff with us. It was like HexMag. We're a dealer for HexMag, and HexMag was at SHOT Show. They didn't have a booth, but they were just sitting in the cafeteria and then had their own little table. And you knew that they were HexMag because they all had their shirts and they're giving away HexMags. And so we might do something like that where we'll just pick a table at one of the cafeterias and just set up shop there.
That's cool. I'm actually trying to attend it this year for the first time myself. I have access to media credentials through basically through On Target Media. It's a long story, but so I'm hoping to actually be there this year. We'll see how it turns out.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome, man. It's cool how many people are there and all the different products and the different vendors. It's a pretty cool experience, man.
Absolutely.
It's like John, Christmas for gun geeks.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. So John, let's talk a little bit about your channel and all the stuff you got going on.
Let's do that.
Yes, let's do that. Because I know, as we were talking before, I found out about you like the other day. Saw like a couple of your videos. I says, "Oh wow, that's pretty interesting." You had a live chat that you were doing and stuff. And I said, "Hey, maybe I'll invite him on the show." So I'm still learning about what you do. So tell us.
So I started the Gun Collective. We launched June 15th of this year, and we do our primary focus is a show called TGC News. It is the only gun news show on any video news show for the firearms industry. That's what I do. And what makes it really, really special is that I don't really sugarcoat anything. So if something isn't quite up to standard, isn't quite up to par, whatever, I'm honest about it. And people really, really seem to enjoy that. Previously, before I was doing the Gun Collective, I used to have a YouTube channel called Chaos 311 Clarity, and I did gun videos for a long time. It was kind of a hobby, but now more than ever, it's part of my career. I started a media company in the beginning of this year, and that has lent itself to driving the quality higher than ever before. People have compared the news show to something like Talk Soup or BuzzFeed, The Daily Show for guns. That's what we do, and it's really all about delivering the highest quality stuff that I possibly can.
Yeah, what I have seen so far is definitely high quality stuff.
Thank you.
You're doing a nice job. So, yeah. What else was I gonna say? Oh, by the way, I saw your hat too, the Notch Gear hat.
Yes, it's a comfortable hat. This was actually given to me by a buddy of mine that runs 4guysguns.com. His name's Whitey. He's a great guy, good friend of mine. He gave me this a while back. And
hey, what was it called?
The hat?
No. 4 Guns what?
4 Guys Guns.
Oh, okay. I thought you said 4 guys.
No, not 4 guys. No.
Yeah, so because I do have one of those Notch Gear hats also.
Yeah, they're really comfortable.
I did a little quick review on it because it is kind of a neat deal.
Sure. So another big point for what I'm trying to do with the Gun Collective is that I found over the years that a lot of gun media, whether it's YouTubers, whether it's magazines, podcasters, whatever, generally podcasters don't do this because I don't know, for whatever reason they don't do this, but
well, because you can't see the guns if you're doing.
No, I'm saying that a lot of people end up being proverbial yes men for the companies that they end up working with, and I find that to be a disservice to the entire industry. there are guys out there that will literally they'll do what's called they call it a review, and they'll just go, yeah, this is the greatest thing ever, and then suddenly that product comes out to be a big piece of junk, and without dudes that don't really sugarcoat or want to work with a company, it ends up being a mess. Yeah. So I'll give you an example. The Remington R51 was the biggest debacle in gun media in recent memory because it came out and there was a magazine that was just touting it as the greatest thing ever, and then everybody else got guns and they were crap.
Right.
It was just crap. It's a terrible handgun.
Well, how much was Remington paying that magazine for ad space? So it's like an editorial. It's like, okay, we're going to say the best thing about this Remington because Remington's spending $40,000 a month in advertising space in our magazine. Obviously, they're not going to talk crap about their advertisers. So
sure, but you know what? There is a way to handle that.
Yeah.
And that's not through putting out a false statement. It's through working with that manufacturer to create a better end product. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like if I get a product from somebody and it's not really working the way I want, of course I'm going to get on the phone and call them and say, hey man, this isn't functioning here. Can I help you find out some information that will make the product better for both you guys, the end user, and it'll give me a better review in the end. And I feel like a lot of guys just miss out on that, and it's a shame.
I can actually relate to that because, in Jimmy, remember we were talking about the water issue. We found out it was the O-rings that were causing the problem on this optic, the first optic that is.
Yeah, and so it really comes down to the quality control as well, and we end up replacing all those O-rings because of that issue. But when it comes down to, we've reached out to a huge guy on YouTube. I'm not going to name his name. Starts with a J and ends with an R. You'll figure it out. And we reached out to him because we wanted to get a video review, like an honest, like we have no problems with sending you product at no cost just for you to test it out. But then he came back to us and said, hey, yeah, I'll do the review for $1,000. I'm like, well, for $1,000, are you going to say that seems like a conflict of interest? Even if you don't like it, you're going to say good things about it because you want to collect $1,000, right? And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to go to these smaller YouTubers
and just to be clear,
and contact them and at least get some sort of a real reviewer. There's no money involved. You get a product, you test the product with no money involved, and at least we know you're speaking the truth instead of, oh, I'm going to say good things because he's going to pay me $1,000.
And just to be clear, I bought my Atibal optic.
Yes. Well, you got a deal on it, yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm not complaining about it. I'm saying I bought it. No, I didn't get it for free.
Well, and here's the thing. It's like people, we probably get 2 or 3 emails a day. People wanting free stuff. It's crazy. It's like.
What's that email address?
For free stuff. Yeah, free stuff.
What's that? Wait, what is it? Can I ask for free stuff too?
I think it's called Century Arms. I think he's already giving some stuff away.
Yeah, he likes giving away rifles. So.
Wow.
I'm a giving person.
So you want to give me an RAS-47 to test out since I haven't tried out an AK-47 yet?
When you have a 3-gun match to help kids start shooting, I'll be more than happy to send you one to give away.
So what if I bring a kid to go shoot a 3-gun match with?
That doesn't count. No.
Okay. Try though. Hey, gotta try,
You also have an unloaded gun in your picture, so I can't send AKs to people that don't keep bullets in their guns.
Ooh. Yeah, but that's just what I have showing. So anyway, John, what else do you want to tell us about?
I don't know, man. I think this is your show, and you should tell us what you want me to talk about, man. Ask me some questions. It's better that way.
Well, what do you have actually that you're working on right now as far as videos and stuff?
So part of what I do, besides the Gun Collective, I run a company called Patton Media and Consulting. I film advertising videos for the firearms industry. I've worked with a bunch of different really, really cool companies. and on top of that, I also do some video marketing campaigns and yada yada yada. I got my hands in a lot of different stuff. I actually today picked up something that I know Jacob will be happy about. This is the Canik TP9 SA. This actually belongs to Tim from the Military Arms Channel, and I'll be honest with you. First impressions on this thing, just handling it, funneling it. This is really comfortable, and the trigger is actually surprisingly good. It's a $400 gun, and I was not expecting it to feel like this in my hand, and that's pretty cool. So that's going on. I was out shooting some AKs today for another ad, and so I've got. Oh, you guys will really appreciate this. I've also got a Rugged Suppressors Surge 762 that we're kind of testing out, and that thing's pretty interesting because it's a modular 308 can rated up to 300 Remington Ultra Mag. And it's also full auto rated, yada yada yada, all the robustness. And so the last two baffles, actually, you unscrew them off of the can and replace the end cap, and you've got essentially two suppressors. You can have a 7.5 inch or a 9 inch can, and that's pretty slick. I think that's a neat idea, and it seems pretty affordable. So time will tell.
That is cool. Unfortunately here in Illinois we're not allowed to have suppressors yet. So,
yeah, that is unfortunate. I've got friends in Illinois.
Yeah, we did actually have an event recently at our Sportsman's Club, though, that I did get the chance to actually try a few different firearms, and shot basically 5.56 and 9mm suppressors, or shot with them, I should say. It was a lot of fun. I mean, I was trying to do a 200-yard shot with a XDM 3.9-inch barrel with a suppressor where you can't see the sights, but it was fun.
A 200-yard shot?
Yeah, I came in within about a foot or two of actually hitting the steel. I can see the splash in the dirt,
Sure.
But that's next to impossible. But I figured, hey, if I get it on video, just edit it, and it'll look like I actually did something. But I'd admit that it didn't actually happen, either way. But it was fun.
Yeah, suppressors are awesome, man. There's something special about shooting a suppressed gun. As far as I'm concerned, everything should have a can on the end of it.
Right, I like that idea, definitely.
Well, that kind of died quickly, didn't it?
Sorry, yeah, I had a message I was looking at real quick, got distracted.
Okay.
Yeah, so anyway, yeah, it was about asking Jesse about his last weekend shoot, but we already had spoke about that.
I was there, Jesse, on Saturday and Sunday.
Oh, very cool. Yeah, I saw you guys were sponsors. That match is so there's so many people and it's all spread out so much. You can see people on the scores and never actually run into them on the how many acres they have there, but it's ginormous.
Yeah, I went and hung out with Andrew for a little while, and Chris Snyder at 511.
I do.
Yeah, we rode around and watched some of the match together, so that was a good time.
Very cool. Yeah, it's a neat match, getting to see the top guys and then guys that are shooting their first event.
Yeah, it's really cool to see the amateurs paired up. I think that's a unique thing as far as the shooting industry.
So, hey, John, I was going to ask you this too. In regards to I know with my experience with video editing and all this stuff, how much time are you actually spending doing this stuff? I mean, how much does it eat up just to produce a video for you?
A lot. Editing is a significant thing that we do here, and I'm not going to masquerade like I'm the only person in my company. I have a very talented cameraman editor that helps me out big time, and we kind of work together on it. I came from a position where that's all I did. I did everything from the top down, but I am very fortunate enough to have grown the business to a point where I can bring another person on, and I mean, it really depends on the project. If it's something like a more complex thing, it's going to take a couple days worth of editing and drilling down and creating this final product. But it could be as simple as 2-3 hours. It really depends. It really depends.
Gotcha. What is your favorite tools to use as far as cameras go?
So my favorite camera is the stuff that they film the Mythbusters slow motion with. That's the kind of camera that I want to play with. We shoot everything in 4K using Sony cameras, Everything is in 4K, and it's beautiful. It's super crisp and clean, and usually comes out really, really beautiful and nice looking. You know, that requires a huge amount of infrastructure to be able to handle the 4K video. I'll give you a prime example. A 1 to 5 minute clip. So let's say a 5-minute clip in 1080p is, I don't know, 100 megs or something like that. I don't remember what it actually is. We're looking at a 1-minute clip of 4K being about 5 gigs.
Wow.
Like, it's huge amounts of data that we have to manage. And it's funny because I used to shoot on these little memory cards, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Sure, everybody's familiar with these. That's most people in the YouTube gun world know all about those cards, right? We have to shoot to hard drives now.
Yeah, I get that because I actually have a 1.5 terabyte hard drive. I use a lot for my, keeping all my videos and stuff on.
Sure.
Because it's just the massive amounts of data.
No. I mean, instead of using cards to write the videos to plug into the camera, we shoot directly to solid state hard drives.
No, I get that. Yeah, I get that totally. But I'm just saying, even the 1080p stuff, like you said, it takes up so much hard drive space or whatever memory, and then the processing also takes a long time as well.
Sure.
Like you said, the infrastructure to handle that is a big thing, because otherwise, using an older machine, you're gonna be sitting. In my opinion, from what I've seen, you'd be sitting there for hours letting it encode, a video that's like 20 minutes long or whatever it is.
Do you guys still shoot anything on like VHS tapes?
For special requests, I'll do that for you, Jacob. If you want me to shoot something for you on a VHS, I think I have one in the basement.
I'm gonna film my next promo video on Laserdisc.
What about Betamax?
Go Betamax, come on.
I still got tape, right here, yeah.
He's got
you guys have my Credence tapes?
Oh, I'm sorry. What's that, Patrick?
You guys got my Credence tapes still over there, or what?
Your Credence
Oh
tapes?
yeah. I was on a radio show Saturday night, and it broadcast on AM.
Right.
I was like, I don't think I have a radio that picks up AM.
Yeah, but a lot of radio stations nowadays, even with AM radio, still broadcast live on the internet as well. So you got another way to listen.
Sure.
But yes, I'm sorry I ruined your joke.
I don't know, man. I think the video quality is it's really come a long way in the last few years, much like everything else has. We as a society have advanced a lot, and video quality on YouTube for guys making gun videos has really stepped up, and it's pretty awesome to know personally a lot of the heavy hitters. These guys are my friends, and I'm able to work with them and work side by side with them on a lot of projects, and it's a ton of fun, man. It really is. Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, that's one thing I've enjoyed a lot of too, is meeting all the new people, like you guys, talking with you on the live show here, and it makes the world a much smaller place. And in fact, like Patrick from One Shot Kill It Media there, I met him through watching his videos on the Atibal optics, and I had one I was reviewing at the time and stuff, and we just met actually recently up at MGS Firearms, his dealer, that a lot of times Jake from MGS is on here with him on the show as well, but not today, unfortunately. But, yeah. So, do you have anything you want to add there, Patrick?
No, I mean, I guess it is just kind of cool, and, when you really kind of look at just kind of like, for instance, how we met or how some of you guys, might have met each other or whatever, the gun community, even, I guess, within the internet age, is still a tight-knit community, which is kind of cool. You just don't really see that in a lot of other industries, I guess. So, it's kind of cool to actually be able to talk with different folks and, like, have other people on here that, you can talk to some guys that have, like, what, we're pretty small time, but we can get, other folks like you guys on here to actually sit around and have a conversation with us, and that's kind of neat.
I agree. That is, even going out to shooting sports like the 3-gun, the guys like Jesse are willing to talk to you. It's not like you're put off by it. They're there. They like to help you and stuff. A lot of times, it's just the sportsmanship is great, and that aspect as well. It's unparalleled to anything I've really seen.
Is that an SOE?
Yes, that is an SOE Combat.
Combat cock.
Yes.
Okay.
I put it up there because people catch it and they see it, even though it's kind of blurred, little triangular shaped thing. They know what it is. Yeah.
Chase, my assistant, was just like, I think that's an SOE combat cock.
Yes, it is. I know you guys. You know the guys from SOE pretty well because I've seen some of the videos where you're down there and stuff doing a photo shoot with them or something.
Man, I've known John Willis for like 10 years. I met John and Mookie when Mookie was still living in Yeager's basement.
Nice.
But I have the only SOE flask pouch ever made.
That's cool.
That's my famous like piece of kit. Everybody's got like, oh, I got this. I'm like, yeah, I got a flask pouch. It's cool. That's as tactical as I get.
Wow. Nice. So, yeah. Anyway, so John, speaking of, as Patrick had mentioned, how many subscribers do you have right now?
So we launched on June 15th. Yesterday was the 11th week. We are up to 5,500 subscribers. We're growing at about 500 a week right now. It is absolutely one of the fastest growing gun outlets right now.
Yeah.
It's astounding that we've been able to take off, and we're just on the first show. You know what I mean? TGC News is just the tip of the iceberg, and it's really exciting to be really just driving forward in a huge way. That's awesome.
I'm watching your channel here on my second screen, and that video looks awesome. It's actually better than the TV show that we shoot on. I can't get Sportsman Channel in high definition even at my house.
Well, thank you, Jesse. That's huge, man.
I've been trying to catch that, Three Gun Nation. I've seen like one time I saw it. They always put it on like real late at night, or real early.
Yeah, I think it airs at 9 o'clock on Monday nights, which is, well, I guess it's their Big Gun Mondays or whatever it is. But yeah, it's pretty much with any show now. You're DVRing it or watching it on YouTube later,
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've been kind of watching the Sportsman Channel a little bit lately, and I'm like, most of it's all hunting stuff most of the time. Throughout the day, I'm like, why don't they put some three-gun stuff on, like, in the middle of the day or towards the later afternoon or something when people are home from work or whatever to see it,
Who's home from work in the middle of the day?
People who work different shifts, but I guess what I meant to say was, like, when people
where people not employed can watch it because Three Gun's so cheap to do.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you have a good point.
I know.
There's a new division of Three Gun called the Homeless Division, where somebody that's
unemployed. They filmed it in Seattle.
Well, yeah.
No, it's actually localized only in Detroit.
Nice. Nice. Yeah, a lot of nice stages, a lot of empty buildings, I'm sure.
Yeah, some room clearing stuff, and occasionally you get to shoot a hobo.
That's not a bad idea.
Tip of the iceberg, I'm telling you. Change. Oh,
wow.
So good.
Yeah, but I'm just. So
guys, I've got an 11 o'clock actually a call overseas because they're just getting up in some parts of the world, so I got to hop off.
Sure.
I hear you. Thanks, Jacob. I appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Jacob, it was good meeting you,
Call
brother.
me tomorrow. It's good to meet all you guys. John, look forward to the promo video. Hopefully you get that done.
For sure, man.
Yep, awesome. Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Yep. Have a good night,
guys.
Take care, man.
See ya.
Oh man, got the nice Jacob Herman burn there for my comment about when Three Gun should be on. That's nice. But
I was kind of wondering what you're doing home during the day.
I'm home during the day right now. So, but yeah, I guess what I was trying to say was the whole idea of they should have it on earlier so people could actually see it, versus real late at night like they do.
I mean, the reality of the situation is that type of programming should be an on-demand type thing. You know what I mean? Like, I experienced the same thing. I used to be a huge fan of World Rally Championship, the WRC, and we could only watch that at like 11 o'clock at night Eastern, and it was only an hour's worth every week, and it was a shame. We're always like, oh man, I really wish I could actually spend time watching this, but
right. My point is why do they want to have it on so late? Is just is it like less expensive to put it on that time period, or is it like because it's shooting stuff? But they have.
I know that the show itself has to buy the airtime, so I'm sure that's a direct proportion to the cost. They buy the airtime and then they sell sponsorships, and that's how it pays for the show. So
Whew.
I know it went from 1 hour down to a half hour this year just due to the downturn in the industry and advertising dollars and all that good stuff. So,
Right.
Yeah,
that
I
probably hasn't
noticed that.
changed from Monday nights from last year. I think we were on Thursday or Friday nights.
Wow. Yeah, I saw
That's
the
a
half
challenge.
hour. It is. I can relate to that whole thing with the sponsorships and everything and the paid airtime and all that with the radio stuff. So I get it. It kind of sucks. I wish it was on longer and it was on more often and all that kind of stuff. We get it.
Yeah, I don't quite understand why it takes so long to get it on YouTube or on demand or where all the different Hulus and all that. I'm not all done with all the different ways you can watch TV nowadays, but there's a million ways out there. Everyone's always asking for some other form of it, and I guess it's going on to I forget the name of it even. Some online web TV show a year later. Basically, they're putting last year's episodes up now.
Oh, cool. So here's a question for you, Jesse. How do you think that as far as the TV and like YouTube and everything, all the actual coverage of like 3-gun and shooting sports has affected, the actual competitive shooting?
I think it's definitely helped. The TV show itself has brought a lot of new shooters that, everybody and their brother owns an AR-15 now and a pistol because everybody has to have a pistol once they turn 21, right?
Right.
And, we've got a lot of our veterans coming out of active duty that have experience with AR-15s, M16s, M4s, and pistols, and they like shooting. So the sport has really grown. I think a combination of the TV show, everybody and their brother having a head cam on their body when they're shooting, and like I said, the veterans in the military service. So, I mean, the sport since I started 5 years ago it's more than doubled. But I mean, it's still relatively young and small, and having guys like Jacob there with Century Arms saying he's going to help sponsor a match is huge.
That is.
You guys sponsoring a new shooter out there in Arizona, that's big. I mean, the industry as a whole, in my opinion, does not put enough emphasis on competitive shooting. Not just 3-gun, but competitive shooting in general. To me, that's a sporting purpose if I ever heard one.
Yeah, I've seen. Yeah, that's very true. I've seen.
I think that's how you make it a regular household topic too. You have to have the sponsorship to actually get people, looking at it as a normal thing. It's not just the scary gun anymore. That's a normal thing. It's a sport. You know what I mean? So.
You're exactly right. I couldn't agree more.
Well, I've noticed a trend where a lot of the manufacturers are now actually moving more towards competitive shooting type rifles and stuff like that, like pushing a little bit more into that sector.
Sure, the last 2 or 3 years, everybody and their brothers had a 3G type rifle come out just because it's, the market's competitive, and if you've got another brand or another model line to throw out there, why not?
Yeah.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah, and the thing with 3-gun, it's, Ryan Wiggins, who, I don't know if you know him or not. I actually went to your Facebook page, and I looked, and on Jesse's Facebook page, and Ryan Wiggins he's a fan of your Facebook page, so he knows who you are. And so when I talk to him tomorrow, I'll let him know I talked to you because obviously he's a fan. But one of his biggest issues was trying to get out to the matches. In some of the rankings, he's kind of in the middle of the pack, maybe towards the back of the pack. But that's okay with us because you got a shooter that's in the top 20, 25. Top 30, they've already got sponsorships. They've already got these big companies that are sponsoring them. And so that was kind of one of his biggest hurdles, was actually trying to make it out to the matches and fly out there because it does cost money. And I don't know if that's true or not. Is that true? Like, you have to have the right sponsors to get you to the matches. Because hey, buddy, I love you. All right. All right, go to bed.
Just make sure the wife doesn't come in like that.
Yeah.
Surge ratings.
Yeah.
There you go.
Hey, honey, good night.
With 3-gun, it costs money as a competitor and you really need sponsors that are going to back you up, right? Because it's
absolutely.
It's not
I mean, if you want to get to the top of the game, you've got to have some help. I mean,
yeah.
My wife and I own our own business, and I pretty much wasted about $25,000 a year for the first 2 or 3 years just trying to get competitive and get myself out there and known well enough to start getting some sponsors. And then, if at first you start out with some free product and discounts and that sort of thing, and then the TV show really helped with the sponsorship stuff because we've actually got something we can give them a return on their investment. Hey, I'm going to be on TV one time a week and reruns twice a week, and their logo's out there, and they're seeing our products, and the fans are starting to see the shooter and associate the shooter with the gun, and so on and so forth. So it's been a lot easier to sell ourselves and give some return on their investment as far as cash goes.
And
So
that's going to continue to grow and expand. Like, we were talking about earlier, the massive influx of new shooters and the growth of all these sports is going to make that easier over time. The competition game is evolving. I mean, I was talking to a buddy of mine that I'm not sure if he wants me to say his name, but he works in the industry, and he's a precision shooter, and he's into the long-range precision competitions, and he said that where that is where 3-gun was 3-4 years ago, and he's seeing a huge growth in that market. So I can only imagine where we're headed with this. You know what I mean? The companies are going to continue to evolve as new people try new ways to market and new ways to get the competition shooters out there. And it's so freaking cool to see that. And to see guys like you riding that wave and driving through it and becoming a really recognizable name, Jesse. That's really cool, man. It's awesome to watch.
Hey, how do you say your last name?
Tischauser.
Tischauser, okay.
Yeah. So Jesse, I had one quick question for you too. In regards to like these chats and YouTube and stuff with these live chats specifically, I guess. How has that actually affected as far as getting awareness, or how has it helped bring awareness for the 3-gun stuff for you? What do you think about that? Or just kind of comment a little bit about. Sorry for not making a very clear, concise question, but.
No, it's a good question.
You kind of get the gist of what I'm asking.
There's a new show called the 3-Gun Show that just started this year. There's Shooter's Mindset. You've got competitive shooters. More and more shows on the internet that people can watch. If competitive shooting is their thing, there's something they can tune into 1 or 2, 3 nights a week. Whereas you may catch a little bit of competitive shooting on 3-Gun on Shooting USA on TV once a week. So, I mean, when I first started in 2009, there wasn't. I was taking videos of myself and putting them on YouTube, and that was about it. And you get 10 views per match. Right. But today it's the more exposure the sport and the shooters have, the better it is for the sponsors and the sport. I mean, it all grows together. You get more shooters, you get more sponsors. You get more sponsors, you get more shooters, and it just keeps leapfrogging each other.
So how do I get you to drop Vortex and start running with an Atibal 1-4?
I actually my optics sponsor is Optics Planet.
Oh, okay.
So
I was looking at your Facebook.
Yeah, they're actually. Optics Planet is actually based out of Illinois as well.
Yes, they are. Chicago.
Yeah, they're a little bit north. Yeah, of me. So I know Barry's got to run soon, so I want to cover this with him. I know he's got a contest you want to tell us about.
Sure. Yeah. I'm sorry. I got to bounce. I've got I got a 5 a.m. flight in the morning, and it's going to come awful quick. So.
Yeah, man.
First of all, hey, great group tonight. I'm really glad to be a part of it. Great chat. Hey, Jimmy, give me a call. I've got an idea on something that I want to run past you. There's actually an upcoming event that I think there might be some opportunity to show some of your products. So if you get a chance tomorrow, give me a holler and let's chat a little bit about that.
Yeah,
so,
when's a good time?
Pretty much any time during the day. I'm pretty open during the day tomorrow.
All right, yeah, I'll give you a call.
Cool. Yeah, that and just wanted to say, shameless plug, right? So, I'm a dealer of both the manufacturers that are on tonight. So, Atibal and Century I'm dealers for both of those. But so more specific to contest that Rick had mentioned. So what we've got going on, being a new dealer and developing our client base, which has been going overwhelmingly well, much to my surprise, is that we're running a Facebook contest for likes on our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/bat.arms. That we're trying to get to 500 likes by by the end of September. So if we hit 500 likes, we're going to go ahead and draw everyone's name. There's a post there if you'd like and share that post. We're going to give away 5 gift certificates to the store. So it's good for the store.
How many are you at now?
Right around 300.
Okay.
Maybe just a little bit under. So we're going to give away, if we hit 500, I'm going to give away 5 store gift certificates. Also good for website, whichever in-store website, either. And for every 100 I go over that by the end of September, I will add another gift certificate. So
That's awesome.
if we hit 800, I'll give away 8. So whatever the case is. So
yeah, once you get it all set up and get the decals, I'll be more than happy to share that on our Facebook page. And so we've got about 50,000. We'll hit 50,000 probably tomorrow.
nice.
So we're going to do a big giveaway as well for the 50K. But
Cool.
yeah, whatever you need, help promoting your products, or obviously you're a dealer for us, so I want you to sell our stuff. I'll help promote that for sure. So
As soon as it comes in, it'll be on the site.
okay.
That is awesome.
The contest is pinned on our Facebook page, so check us out.
Cool.
Cool. Well, thank you, Barry, and again, thank you for being our sponsor for the live show as well. Can't thank you enough for that too. To work with you has been great.
Likewise. Good deal. Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
Yep.
See
You
you,
too.
Barry.
Thanks. So, yeah, I know there's so many different things we could talk about, but we're running out of time anyway. So, I'd like to thank you guys again for being on tonight. It was kind of unexpected to have all the big names all at once, just kind of happens that way sometimes. It seems to be like feast or famine. You get like one person, or you get like nobody, or you never know until right before the show.
Hey, since everybody knew I was coming on, that's why.
Yeah, that's right.
Riding the coattails, right?
But hey, John. Hey, so you do a lot of product reviews, and I just went to your Facebook page, saw some of the videos that you were doing, and your videos are very well done. It's pretty impressive. Because you see a lot of YouTube videos. Because we get emails from people that, hey, I want to do a video review. This is my channel. They've got like 10 followers and like 2 videos. and
Hey,
so,
that was me. I know how that goes. I was
but with you, Rick, you had somewhat of a decent following. But
right.
But I would love to get a 1 to 4. It's our 1 to 4. It's a we call it the Velocity. It's got a free floating crosshair, front focal plane, and it's a Japanese manufactured optic. And we would love for you to do a review on it. Obviously, I don't want to pay you to do a review. I'll give you a free product, and give us your honest opinion, because it looks like you guys do a great job. And
Well, thank you, dude. I really appreciate that. We'll have to talk details offline and see if we can put something together, man. I think that'd be pretty cool. I at least want to just take a look at it and see what you're all about. I'll at least do that for you.
Yeah, awesome, yeah. Okay, well,
we'll go ahead and wrap this up. What's that?
No, go ahead.
We're still
I'll
on
just
there.
message you on Facebook, I guess.
There you go. So anyway, thank you again, Jesse, for being on the show. Hopefully we'll get to talk to you again more in the future as well.
Glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I know there's a lot of other things I'd like to talk to you about, but I know it's already after 10, so I don't want to keep you guys here and talking. But and Jimmy, thank you again for being on. And John, I look forward to talking with you more, definitely in the future.
Well, thanks for having me on, brother. It's a good time. It's good to meet a bunch of new people and really chit-chat about a bunch of different stuff. Jesse, it was great to kind of put a face to the name. I've seen you all over social media, so it's good to do that. And guys, Jimmy with Atibal, it's cool to meet somebody new, and it's a lot of fun to be able to support guys that are kind of starting out and getting their stuff together, and it's pretty cool, man. I appreciate you inviting me on.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. And again, Patrick, thanks as always, for being on in our panel here.
Yeah, for sure. So, nice meeting everybody.
Absolutely. And so I want to, again, give a shout out, BAT Arms, our show sponsor. Go check them out, batarms.com, and Eggleston Munitions, our other sponsor, at egglestonmunitions.com. The links will be below the video, too, so you guys can check it out there. And till next time, guys, go out and have some fun shooting.
All right, guys.